I'm working in this strip club, y'all, drained, watching people do drugs in the back, literally seeing girls go into private rooms knowing they're having sex with their customers. My hair in a bun, I'm holding that tray with the beer and the liquor and the tequila on it. These men, as I walk by, looking at my ass, sometimes touching me inappropriately. It was an unhealthy environment. And when you're in these environments, you guys, you have got to know it is temporary. And whenever you're ready to move, you can move environments. I did have days where I cried. I did have days where I was broke as heck, trying to figure out where I was gonna get my next meal. But that girl, she just knew that she knew that she knew that she knew. There was no doubt. So in every room that you walk in, you're lit. What's up? You're that girl. You're him. All right. That sounded like Mariah Carey. Don't play. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Try This Again podcast. I am your host, b.simone. If you are new here, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not new here and you are OG with the b.simone brand or the podcast in general, I love you. I thank you for returning. I thank you for supporting. I thank you for being here. As you can tell by the title, this episode gonna be lit. You're lit. I'm lit. I am lit. In the words of one of my best friends, Pretty V, she always got to gas me up. She always be like, you're lit. You're b.simone. You're lit. Don't let anybody dim your light. You're lit. Why you having a bad day? You're lit. She lets me have my moment. She lets me be human, but V is always in my ear and she's always like, you're lit. You're lit. You're lit. And it always picks me up. And I just wanted to talk about that. In this episode, I'm going to talk about my journey. You guys, it is my 10-year anniversary in Atlanta, Georgia, from Dallas, Texas. I cannot believe it. Literally, when people ask me, how long have you been in Atlanta? I'd be like, I've been there like 7 or 8 years. Baby, I did the math. I did the math. I moved to Atlanta 2014, November 2014. It's literally been 10 years, a decade that I have moved out here on a whim, on a dream, on a prayer, on belief, on faith with God and followed my dreams. And I just want to talk a little bit about the journey, how I got here, and how I'm lit. Like, I'm going to give myself my flowers on this episode. Like, I want to play something for y'all real quick. Y'all remember this?
I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad motherfucker, cuz.
Come on. Come on. I want to thank me. I want to thank me for never giving up. I want to thank me for letting God to use me as a vessel. I want to thank me for being obedient. I want to thank me for wiping my tears and picking my ass up and trying again. I want to thank me for being a trendsetter in the culture. I want to thank me for being innovative and creative. I want to thank me for being a visionary and using my gifts and my vision to propel forward into my purpose. I want to thank me. And you should thank you for your gifts that God has given you that you aren't sitting on. And if you're sitting on them, we're not going to go into next year sitting on them. We're going to wake them up. We're going to use them. Why? Because you're lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. And I thank God that he has given me these gifts, this platform, this personality, this mind, these characteristics to be lit. And you can be lit too when you tap into who God called you to be. And there is I'm getting into it. I'm jumping around. I got to give y'all the backstory about how I got here. I'm going to tell y'all the story about my 10 years before I got to this point, my 10 years in Atlanta. But there's a thin line between being cocky, being arrogant, being prideful, ego. We all teeter that line. I know I do. I get on my high horse sometime and baby, God will knock you down quickly. But this episode isn't about arrogance and cockiness. This episode is about boldness, confidence, and knowing who you are in Jesus Christ. And without God, I am nothing, but God made me lit. God is using me as a vessel. He made me lit. He gave me the gift of vision. He gave me the gift of belief. He gave me the talent. He gave me the trials and tribulations to have a testimony and to have a story. God gave me my personality. He gave me even my physical features by society standards to have gotten me to a certain point, maybe have helped me in my career just so people could hear my voice. The world didn't know that God was wrapping the medicine in candy. Oh, she looked good. It looked good. Yeah, I have a purpose for her. I'm lit. I'm lit, baby. I'm lit. And you're lit too. And we tap into our litness when we know for sure. When we know for sure who God called us to be. I know who God called me to be. And sometimes that light gets dimmed, and sometimes you doubt, and sometimes you don't know. But baby, when that flame get reignited and it's lit back up, you better not ever let it dim down again. You're lit. Know exactly who you are. Know who God called you to be, and be that. Be lit. Don't be cocky. Don't be arrogant. Don't be prideful, because okay, now, pride come before the fall. You gonna fall now. I've had those moments. I've had those moments where I've been here and I felt here. I've been high and I felt low. God will humble you, but I am lit because of who God made me. I'm lit because I know who I am through Christ. Without him, I am nothing. But with him, I can do all things. And I've been doing all things that he's called me to do. And I'm lit. We lit, baby. You heard what Snoop Dogg said. I want to thank me. So that's what this episode is about. This episode is about getting your confidence back, getting your boldness back, and knowing who you are in Christ. Y'all, literally 10 years ago, I was living in Dallas, Texas, working as a waitress in a strip club, doing hair. And here we are 10 years later. I have made an impact on social media. I'm one of the first internet celebrities to ever exist. I was the first wave. If you mention a Black millennial female comic that comes from social media, you have to mention b.simone. I have been a trendsetter in the culture. I have been a trendsetter in the industry. And I'm going to take y'all through the journey of what got me to this 10-year anniversary of being in Atlanta. It started on a hope and a dream. You guys, I literally was in Dallas, Texas. I've shared this story a little bit, but I was in Dallas, Texas. All I knew is I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I wanted to do music. I was waitressing at a strip club, y'all. Oh my God. And it was one of them country strip clubs. It was a white people strip club. It wasn't like, yeah. Hey, Bean, my sister's dog is here. He just up here. You want to come up here? Let me get him. Hold on, y'all. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Now you got to relax, okay? You going to sit there? You're so cute. Okay. He's in my lap now, y'all, for the people that are listening. Mind you, I used to be terrified of dogs. A couple years ago, I wouldn't even be able to have him on me. But y'all know Uno, my old dog, helped with that. But ADHD, bring it back. In Dallas, Texas, you guys, living in Dallas, I was happy. I was broke. I was hustling. I was grinding, but I was happy. But I always knew there was more for me. I was never content. I was never complacent. And I always had a vision of, I have to go to Atlanta and making it. I don't think I knew what my definition of making it was at that point. For me, making it was just doing music, being an entertainer, being a singer, being a rapper, however that was. I know I wanted to be an entertainer, and I wanted to go to Atlanta to make it, to make all of my dreams come true. Okay, you're getting comfortable. I get it. Go ahead and move around. Being moving around. So at this time in Atlanta, I'm not only a licensed cosmetologist. So right after high school, I didn't go to college. I literally told my grandmother, we were about to go to Prairie View. I got accepted to Prairie View A&M University. I told my grandmother, I do not want to go to college. I want to stay here, go to cosmetology school and do hair and invest in my entertainment career. She believed in me and she allowed me to do it. And she allowed me to stay in her home for years after college for years after high school, from 18 to 24. I stayed with her. Are you going to hop down? Well, stay down now. Don't be in and out my house. Either choose in or out. You want to go outside and play or you want to stay home? Okay, we'll sit there. He done hopped out my lap. So yeah, I'm in Dallas, Texas, and my grandmother allowed me to stay in her home, go to cosmetology school. She put me through cosmetology school, do hair, and hustle my way, saving up my money, knowing that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, right? I started working at a strip club. I'm like, I'm going to work at this strip club. I'm going to save up $3,000. I thought that was a massive amount of money. Baby, that money was gone so quick. I was like, I'm gonna save up. I think I saved up like $7,000, but then I bought a cash car. So I only had 3 left. I spent like $5,000 or $4,000 on the car. So I know I moved to Atlanta with like around $3,000. I'm working in this strip club, y'all, drained, watching people do drugs in the back, literally watching girls, not physically watching, but seeing girls go into private rooms, knowing they're having sex with their customers, knowing they're doing all of these things that I wasn't mentally detached from that lifestyle because it was normal to me, but I knew that wasn't me. So I didn't feel, I can't say I felt out of place in the strip club, but I knew my place in the strip club. I knew I wasn't doing that, but I knew waitressing and being a bottle girl, that was fine for me. That felt like who I was in that season. But I also knew I couldn't be in that environment for a long time. It was just a lot. Even in the strip club, you guys, I would be in the back talking to these girls for hours. I will never forget this girl's name. I'm not going to say it on camera because I don't want this to come up, but I did work at the strip club Baby Dolls. I'm going to call her Kiki. Her name is not Kiki, but I'm going to call her Kiki. Every single time we had a shift together, she would get drunk, pissy drunk. And every single time we would end up being in the back, sitting on the floor. We have a house mom. The house mom has candy and all these things. They call her the house mom. You go to her for mints or just refreshments or whatever, and you pay her out and she could give you socks, stockings, lip gloss. She has all these trinkets. We would sit on the house mom's floor. I would literally hold her and pray for her and talk to her and encourage her. Every time we had a shift together, every single time. So even then, looking back, maybe in that moment, I just felt like I was being myself. But even then, looking back, God was using me in those environments. I would never forget. Fast forward. I'm going to get back to that, working in the strip club. Fast forward. This is 7 years later in Atlanta, living in Atlanta. I'm in the strip club at Cheetah. And this is when I had Know For Sure, that podcast. I'm at Cheetah and a girl walks up to us and walks up to our table and she's like, she's literally a stripper. She's half naked. She's half naked. She got a thong on. Her boobs are out and she's 19 years old, stripping at Cheetah. And she walks up to our table crying and says how much Know For Sure podcast, how we have changed her life, how we have brought her peace, how we have brought her joy, how we have motivated her to get up and get out of the strip club. So I've always known that my voice was powerful, but looking back, you see those moments, you're like, wow, all of that adds up to where I am today. But I don't think you realize it in those moments when you're using your gifts and your talent. My voice, my conviction, my vision. I have the gift of vision, you guys. God just gave it to me. It's just something he gave to me. I have the gift of vision. What I see in my mind is not my imagination. Some things can be your imagination and some things in your mind is planted by the enemy. But the visions God gives me, I don't doubt them for 1 second. I have the gift of vision and I have the gift of belief. I see vision in other people and God has used me to pull vision out of other people, to pull faith out of other people, to pull belief out of other people. And the more I grow and the closer I get to him, the more I realize that is a true gift. The gift of vision is nothing to be played with. It's powerful. It's prophetic. And I know that I have that oil and that anointing over me. And sometimes it's heavy. It's hard. It's confusing. You doubt it sometimes, even though my faith is so high to make the vision come to pass, your belief in faith has to be high. But sometimes I'm like, did God tell me that? Because this is taking a while. Did God show me that? He did. And it's going to come to pass when it needs to come to pass. I know my gifts. I know I have the gift of vision. I know I have the gift of heightened faith. I believe the unbelievable. I truly, truly do. And that is what has gotten me to this point. What's your gift? Tap into it. In 2025, we're lit. you're lit. So back to the strip club. Working in this strip club, you guys, but I had a goal. I always had a goal in the strip club. I would never forget remembering seeing these women 40 years old, 35 years old. And at this time, I'm 24. I'm like, y'all are still in the strip club. They're like, yeah, I've been here since I was 18. They kind of accepted it as their fate, accepted it as their job, accepted it as their life, and never wanted more. And I'm not talking down to anybody who was still in that lifestyle, who is living in that lifestyle, and who doesn't want more for their life. It was just never me. I was always in circumstances and in situations and in seasons of my life where I knew this was a stepping stone and this was not the end for me. Even this season now with LTTA, and we're working on this app and we're doing all of these things, this is going to take me to the next level. This is not the peak for me. There is no cap for me. For me, I always want more spiritually, financially, mentally, emotionally. There is no perfection. There is only greater. I want to be greater at everything I do. I want to be greater in my spiritual journey. I want to be greater financially. I want to be a greater steward over everything God has given me. I want to be greater physically in the gym. There is no perfection. I'm not chasing perfection. I'm chasing progress, right? With everything I do, I will never be stagnant, and there is never a cap for me. Now, everybody's definition of success is different, but for me, success is always progressing for me. That's a part of the definition of success for me. There's tons of other aspects that go into being successful for me, but that's a part of my definition of success. Constantly growing, constantly elevating, and constantly moving forward in every aspect of your life for me, right? Hey, y'all. Okay, really, really quickly before we go on with this podcast, y'all like my shirt? Isn't it so cute? Let me stand up. Hold on. I want y'all to see it. Can they see this? Can y'all see that? All right. And I'm going to show y'all the back. Hold on. It's really hard to do this, but we're going to have a picture pop up. You guys, this is the tour shirt from 2024. If you have not seen me live, the Still Standing Comedy Tour 2024, these shirts went on sale in the group chat, the broadcast channel on Let's Try This Again Instagram. If you're not a part of that broadcast channel, you're missing merch drops. I only drop merch there, not on Snapchat, not on YouTube, not on my personal page, only on the Let's Try This Again page. So this shirt dropped in the chat on Friday. So it is still available. Go to the chat on Let's Try This Again, join the channel, and get the shirt, you guys. It's so cute. It's a baby picture of me, still standing, hint, still standing, baby, adult. It has words of encouragement on it, and it has all the tour dates on the back. Your city is most likely on the back of this shirt because I did over 35 cities this whole year. It's a bomb shirt and it's on sale. So go get it. Let's Try This Again on Instagram and join the broadcast channel. And the link is in the broadcast channel. I love you guys so much. Go get your merch. And yeah, more merch drops will be in 2025 in the broadcast channel. And the app is coming soon. Don't forget that. Please follow the app page at LTTA APP. I love y'all. All right, back to the show. Mwah. I'm in the strip club, working as a bottle girl, working as a waitress. Oh man. And I go back to think, I literally picture, my eyes are closed now. If you're listening, I'm picturing myself in that black outfit, that black little leotard with them tights and them heels on, my hair in a bun. I'm holding that tray with the beer and the liquor and the tequila on it. These men, as I walk by, looking at my ass, sometimes touching me inappropriately. Just the environment, smoke everywhere. It was an unhealthy environment. And when you're in these environments, you guys, whether it's your house, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's where you live, whether it's your mind, the unhealthy environment you're in could be your mind. You have got to know it is temporary. And whenever you're ready to move, you can move environments. You can change your environment. You have to know the environment you're in. If it is toxic and unhealthy, this is temporary and this is going to take me to my next level. I knew that when I was in the strip club, and I had the goal. Soon as I make enough money to buy a cash car, I'm going to buy the car and I'm going to take the leftover money, and whatever that is, I'm moving to Atlanta with that. And that is when I started that journey. I got my cash car. I was looking for cars. I got a black Toyota Yaris. I don't remember what year, but it was one of them years now. When them old years, okay? When them old years, baby. I made sure it didn't have too much miles on it. I could make it to Atlanta. I packed up that car with everything I had with my $3,000 in my pocket, and I took that leap to Atlanta. And some people say, how did you know to move to Atlanta? How did you know to leave? How did you know that was the next step? It was a knowing for me. It was pulling on me. Sometimes you have that pull and that knowing and you ignore it because you're scared. There's fear, there's doubt, you don't believe, you got to heighten your faith and you got to heighten your discernment and start building your relationship with God so you truly, truly know his voice and you can X out all the confusion and the noise. When you know that you know that you know, I just was focused on that end goal. I was like, I know I'm going to Atlanta. Atlanta is calling me. I couldn't afford LA. That was the only other option for entertainment. LA, Black Hollywood, LA or Black Hollywood. And it was Black Hollywood for me. I could afford Atlanta. I knew a few people here, but I knew I had to get to Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta and man, you can go back on my YouTubes, you guys, like literally scroll through my journey in my vlogs. I was on YouTube praising God and crying in a basement with no bed, with carpet, with barely making my rent. My rent probably was $1,000, $1,500 a month. And I was splitting it with Pharaoh, who was my roommate at the time. I could barely afford it. $700 a month, like hustling that money out. I moved to Atlanta and it was so difficult. But that girl, and I still have that in me. And sometimes you lose it in the midst of heartache, in the midst of being let down, in the midst of confusion, in the midst of pain. You lose, your childlike spirit that allows you to dream and believe big. Because once you're hurt, that faith and those dreams get diminished a little bit. But that girl, she just knew that she knew that she knew that she knew. There was no doubt. I did have days where I cried. I did have days where I was broke as heck trying to figure out where I was going to get my next meal, how I was going to pay my bills. I had those days, y'all, but I was always a hustler, always a grinder. I knew that every single piece of the puzzle will be connected together if I just didn't stop. I had 3 jobs at one point. When I moved to Atlanta, I instantly, I'm not going to lie. Let me not lie. Like I instantly came out here with a job. No, I instantly set my ass down because I thought that $3,000 was going to last a long time. I had never lived by myself. I had never had bills. I didn't know what I was doing. That $3,000 was gone in like 2 weeks. I said, hold on now. Baby, that money was gone so fast. I think I just thought that $3,000 was such an abundant, big amount of money that I could like hold me over for the next year. What the hell? No. So after that money was gone, I got me 3 jobs. I worked at the tavern. I was doing hair and I was working at Exclusive Game. That was one of my first jobs, which is still open today. Exclusive Game, urban clothing store. And every single one of those jobs connected me with people that have changed my life and been vessels in my life for my career today. Even doing hair, doing hair was a major part of my journey because it built my character to get me to this point. Like as I was doing hair, I was talking to people. You know, when you're a hairstylist, any service givers out there, whether it's hair, nails, people that give services, even if you're driving Uber, like sometimes you become a therapist because people dump all their problems on you. As I was doing hair, you guys, I was not only making people laugh, I was not only hearing their stories and giving them my perspective, advice, and giving them hope and light and faith and encouragement. I was motivating them. I was making them look beautiful. So I was changing how they felt. I've always been doing the same thing in different environments. My gift and vision never changed. The environment just changed, and every single environment was a step up to where I am today. So you guys, in Atlanta, I think my big break came with social media, with Instagram, which allowed me to eventually get on MTV's Wild 'N Out. I still had to audition and go through the hurdles and everything that came with Wild 'N Out, but my platform on Instagram, this is when Wild 'N Out was like, okay, we have the comedians, we have the platform, we have the people, but this Instagram thing is taking off. And there are actually Instagram celebrities, Instagram influencers and Instagram comedians. Let's see what they can do on this Wild 'N Out stage. But before I got to Wild 'N Out, you guys, I remember being in the salon, and it's so crazy because it was so prophetic. People are literally like, you're a comedian. You should do stand-up. You should do stand-up. You should do stand-up. You should do. I'm like, what? I'm not no comedian. I don't do stand-up. I'm out here doing music. Like, I'm going to do music. I always knew I was going to be in entertainment, but I never looked at myself as a comedian. I just was funny. That was my personality. But so many people were like, you're going to do stand-up. You should do stand-up. You're going to do stand-up. And that's when the comedy skit started to start. I didn't go into it. And I want to be clear on this, you guys. Sometimes you don't go into stuff with a plan of action. You go into stuff being yourself. Be yourself. I did not have a plan of action when I started social media. I just knew there was this new app. Everybody was hopping on it. I hopped on a trend. I was having fun, but I didn't go into it like I have to reach 1 million followers. I want all these followers so I can start a brand and a business. My mind wasn't working like that 10 years ago. I just knew this felt right. I knew in this season, something is telling me, God, the Holy Spirit, to get on this app and post my personality. And all I was doing was being myself. I was posting videos ranting about my workday. I was posting videos ranting about the relationship I thought I was in, because I was in a relationship. He wasn't. I was not his girlfriend, but that was my boyfriend. Yeah, F-boy. That video went viral. I was on there ranting about my family, ranting about just my everyday life. I wasn't going into it saying, this is an Instagram skit. This is going to be so funny and go viral. 10 years ago, I didn't know what the word viral meant. There was no viral. It was the beginning of a social media era that changed my life. I am the first wave of internet celebrities. And I made history as being one of the Black female millennials that took off in that pocket. I'm lit. I just had to say that. I'm lit. That's lit. The things I have accomplished, it is so lit. And it came from trusting my instincts, trusting myself, and trusting what God was telling me to do and knowing it was the right thing. So from Instagram, opened up the door to Wild 'N Out. And this is when Instagram, I remember being like, I'm going into the salon. Even my clients knew. They were like, you're about to stop doing hair. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay doing y'all's hair. Like, I'm gonna do y'all hair maybe like once a week. I mean, once a month I'll come in. Y'all could come, I'll take less clients. But everybody around me knew. They were like, your career is about to take off. Your Instagram is popping. 10 years ago, not everybody, but now a lot of people got 500,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers. 10 years ago, having 1 million followers was like, whoa. Having 50,000 followers 10 years ago was like, whoa, like who is this person, right? So my following was growing. My impact was growing. The comedy skits were growing. Everybody was posting them and connecting with them. And this is when like it was new to connect with celebrities. Like Rihanna commented on your post. Chris Brown posted your post. Like this was like not normal 10 years ago. But like I was saying, you guys, number one, your status does not define you. You need to boldly walk into who God called you to be and use all of your gifts and just know that you are chosen for something greater. And y'all, my 10-year journey being in the industry, I was in the industry before, but me moving to Atlanta and living in Atlanta, I just want to thank you guys because a lot of you guys have supported me, loved me, poured into me, followed me, bought my products, reposted my stuff, commented on my posts, sent me prayers, love, good energy from all across the world, came to my shows, pulled up to Wild 'N Out, pulled up to my stand-up comedy shows, watched movies that I was in, streamed services, bought close friends, bought b.simone beauty, just every single thing counts as support. And I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. 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 Seriously, thank you because without you guys supporting me, I would not be here. Without you guys supporting me, y'all don't know how your comments, your posts, y'all be going hard for me in the comments, hard for me on the blogs. Like, it really, really, really keeps me going. And it's a constant reminder. Your support is a constant reminder that I am doing this for a purpose bigger than me and outside of me. So I want to thank every single person that has supported me on this journey, whether you've been with me for the whole decade I've been in Atlanta, whether you've been with me before I was in Atlanta, in Dallas, Texas, whether you've been with me just the past year, the past month, this your first time hearing about me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for giving me a chance. And thank you for being my virtual family. I just really, really, delete that. I just really, really, really am grateful for you guys, because you have no idea the messages I get, the comments I see, the love I get on my worst days, where I know I'm lit, but I might not feel it. I know I'm lit, but I might not feel it. You guys really, really, really bring me back to reality of why I'm doing what I'm doing and how my impact has impacted you guys so, so much and helped so many people all across the world to laugh, to heal, to grow, to be transparent, to be vulnerable, to be themselves, and to just be better overall. So thank you guys for your support. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure I said thank you. I love you guys. So I'm going viral. I take off, and I remember being able to, I told Hair R Us, that's the salon I was working at after I worked at Ulta. I worked at Ulta too. But I remember quitting Hair R Us, and I was like, I am making more money on social media with less work than I am here all day, every day. And I'm starting not to care about, when you stop caring about what you're doing, that is a good sign that you need to move around. That's a great, great sign. When you stop caring about what you're doing and putting love and joy and excitement into it, you need to move around. And that's when I knew I needed to stop doing hair, because I could care less if your hair fell out. I could care less if your sew-in was flat, and I could care less if you liked the end outcome. I was ready to go. I was ready to rush and film and rush to the studio and rush and do a skit and rush and do everything else outside of the salon. There was a point in time where I loved the salon, but when I stopped loving it, that was a very good indicator that it was time to move on. So that's what I did. I was making, I think $200 was my sew-in, and I had a deal. I was like, bring a friend, you can get it for $150. Or something crazy. Like, I'll do both of y'all for $150. And people would bring in friends, and I would do 2 sew-ins. I was so quick, so fast. I could do a bomb flat sew-in, amazing sew-in in like an hour and a half, real quick. And I would knock out the girls. I would make $150. I'm like, I'm doing all this work. My hands are hurting. My back is hurting. I'm not selling any product. I don't have any product to sell. So the only way I'm making money is if I'm working. I can't make money in my sleep. I have to depend on my hands and my body to make money. And that just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, I can post an Instagram post and a picture on Instagram. And back then, I think I was making like $75 for a post. But you telling me I could take a picture and upload it to Instagram and make the same amount as a 2-hour sew-in where I'm fully laboring doing hair? Oh no, that didn't make sense to me. I was like, I just got to get more Instagram posts, got to get more Instagram endorsements and be a brand ambassador for these companies. So that's when I knew it was time to leave the salon and move over to full-time influencer. And baby, I did that in 2015. 2016, 2015. I know the F-Boy video went viral in 2016, but I want to say I either quit around that time or before then. So we'll say 2015, 2016, and I never looked back. I never went back to a 9-to-5. I never clocked in again. I never went back to a job, and God just opened doors from obedience. It's about obedience, faith, and what? Knowing you're lit, knowing your gifts and knowing who God called you to be, and having that balance between not arrogance, not ego, not pride, but confidence, boldness, bravery, and knowing who you are through Jesus Christ and who he called you to be, because God is using every single person as a vessel for something. And once you know what that something is and that gift is, you're lit. You're lit, baby. I'm lit. I know what my gift is. I know what my calling is. And I have the gift of vision. I've always seen it. I've always seen where I was going to be. I've always seen the stages and the arenas and the platform and the mics and it just looks different. And God will surprise you. I never saw a podcast. I never saw a stand-up comedy show. I never thought I would be doing an hour stand-up special, but I've always seen the stage. I've always seen the platform. I've always seen the light. I've always seen that. And I've always seen entertainment as my world and as my vessel. And that is where God has planted me to use me. To speak into people, to say, I see people and I'm like, you can do this, you can do that. I see people and I have a whole marketing plan for their brand. I see people and I believe in them more than they believe in themselves, because that is my gift, to pull out what God has called you to do. And I'm just using that gift here on this platform. So, all right, you guys, really quickly, I have an announcement. Finding the perfect jeans just got easy. Meet Good Americans Always Fits jeans. They move with your body, y'all. Thanks to their amazing 4-way, not 3-way, not 2-way, 4-way stretch. No more tight spots or annoying gaps. Just a perfect fit every single time. Co-founded by Khloe Kardashian and Emma Grede, Good American is all about inclusivity. These jeans fit sizes 00 to 32 with a gap-proof waistband and tummy smoothing tech that'll have you feeling confident and comfy all day. Period. And with the holidays coming up, you guys, we will enjoy a little extra. These jeans are a total game changer. Trust me, you'll never want to take them off. Believe me. Do you believe me? Better believe me. I don't be lying to y'all. From skinny to boot cut, high-waisted to crop top, there's a style for every single person. Are you ready to experience this for yourself? Use code LTTA for $50 off your first pair and find your perfect fit today. Shop now at goodamerican.com. Use promo code LTTA for $50 off your first pair. Don't forget to select podcast at checkout to choose our show to let them know we sent you. All right, you guys, back to the show. Yeah, after going viral on social media, it was Wild 'N Out, then it was movies, then it was BET Awards, then it was Impact, then it was Baby Girl and going viral. And every time you hear this, it's like, that's b.simone. And it was a whole phenomenon. And I got the whole world and the whole culture talking like me. Then it was close friends and starting close friends and being a trailblazer there and trailblazing on social media and trailblazing subscriptions. Then it was being the first Black woman, millennial, comedian, socialite, impactor to start her own brand and show the $1 million journey and be one of the first to make $1 million and show that you can make $1 million. You can become a millionaire off of this Instagram shit. And you can make this Instagram and this social media stuff reality. And you can do it and really be successful at it and be financially free. I did that. I showed the journey. I documented it. One of the first to do a lot of things, and I won't be the last. I made a stamp in this podcast space with Know For Sure and my ex-business partner. We were one of the first. Know For Sure, and that relationship and that partnership and that business was a vision I had. And we came together to make an impact on the culture. I'm a visionary. And when I see stuff, it just allows me to know God has never let me down in the past. So why would he let me down now? That's what keeps me going. When you know your gift, hone in on it. My gift is the gift of vision. It's only one of them. I have plenty of gifts, but one of my major gifts that has been coming up lately is the gift of vision. And I'm going to use that vision to constantly walk into every room and be confident, be bold, be brave, be healed, be set free, and know who I am in God and how he's using me as a light and a joy to this world. And you're lit too. So know who you are. Know who God has called you to be. And y'all, in 2025, we're lit. We're not, woe is me no more. We're not, oh, my heart is broken. He ain't calling me back and he don't want me and he did. You're lit. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. I know you said get up. You're lit. You have a gift. You have a calling. God is going to use you as a vessel in every room that you walk in. You're lit. What's up? You're that girl. You're him. act like it, move like it. And when you know who your father is, and I heard this analogy before, I don't know where I heard it. I'm not going to act like I made it up because you know how y'all like to tussle. Like that was my meme. I said that back in 1989. I didn't make it up. I don't know who said it, but I'm going to say it. When a king has a son or a daughter, they don't have to beg to be a prince or a prince. I'm going to say it again. When a king has a son or a daughter, they don't have to beg to be a prince or a princess. They don't have to beg to be a prince or a princess. They're born into it. They don't have to wonder who they are. Oh my gosh, I wonder if I'm going to be the king one day. Is he going to pass it to me? Am I a prince? You're born into royalty. It's who you are. It's your birthright. It's who you are because of who your father is. Your father's the king. You're the prince. Your father's the king. You're the princess. I don't have to wonder who I am. My father's the king. I'm royalty. I'm lit. I'm called. I have anointing. And next year in 2025, we're not doubting that anymore. I want y'all to write it down. Make it plain. Who has God called you to be? You don't know, ask him for clarity. You confused, ask him for clarity. You confused, ask him to take away the double-mindedness. Ask him to take away the confusion. He'll do it. Sit with him for a little bit in solitude and ask him, what is my gifts? How do you want to use me as a vessel in 2025? And you walk in that boldly, whether it's on camera, behind the camera, on a platform, off a platform, 200,000, 200 million watching, one person watching, nobody watching. And God has been dealing with me with that. I'm going to get this a whole nother topic. And then y'all let me know if y'all want me to get deep into it. God has been dealing with me with that. Idolatry. Anything that you put before God, and if he was to snatch it away, you would be crushed, devastated. You put it on a platform and a pedestal so high that you think about it all the time. You're serving it. And without it, you lose your identity. That is idolatry. And there was a point not too long ago. I had been working on it and God has been stripping that from me. But there was a point not too long ago where numbers, followers, validation, people's opinions of me, platform, social media, idolatry. Because if it was gone tomorrow, Braylon, Simone Greenfield, not b.simone, if everything was gone tomorrow, number one, would you be okay? Would you be crushed? Have you found your whole identity in the platform that God only gave you to use as a vessel to bring people to glorify him? Are you okay without it? If the answer is no to those things, it is idolatry. You are putting it before God. So I have literally been prayerful about that. Without Instagram, without my numbers, without my following, without the red carpets, without the praise, without the validation, without people saying they love me, without all of those things that feel so good. That feels so good to the flesh. But I have to constantly be a reminder, remind myself daily, not just once a week, not just once a month, daily. This is not about me. God is using me as a vessel on this platform to glorify and bring people to him. It's a constant reminder, and it's easier said than done because I'm a human, and pride and ego and all of those things get in the way. But God has been working with me on that. Idolatry. Nothing can be before me. I will take it away, B. I will take it away. Nothing can be before me. Not a follower, not a post, not numbers, not Instagram, not validation, not seeking everything from other people outside of me. Nothing can be before me. So don't idolize it. Don't idolize it. God will use you, and when he does, he'll take it away too. So don't wrap your identity in your job, how you look, how people treat you, who people say you are, validation, numbers, following. I know a lot of you guys out there, everybody's an influencer, everybody's a content creator, and you feel like it's not working. I'm nothing because I don't have 1 million followers. That's idolatry. Don't idolize that. And that is not validating who you are. It has nothing to do with who you are. My platform is a vessel. That's all it is. It's a vessel. It's not who I am, right? So I just wanted to get into that a little bit. Idolatry. That's a whole nother topic, but God has been dealing with me with that, and it doesn't always feel good. Will you still serve me if all of this is taken away? Will you still serve me and say that I'm good if everything is gone tomorrow? And the answer has to be yes. If he takes me back from multimillionaire to negative $1 million, is he still good? He is. If he takes me from 5.8 million followers, 6 million, 7 million followers to 0 followers tomorrow, is he still good? Yes, he is. Am I still worthy? Yes, I am. Am I still lit? I'm not saying I'm lit because of my platform. I'm saying I'm lit because of who I am. You're lit. I'm lit. We lit. There's nothing to worry about in 2025. There's nothing to worry about. We lit. Cheers to that. Cheers. Put your glass up. Put your drink up. I got sparkling water. I don't know what you got, but you can put your phone up. They putting their phone up behind the camera. I'm going to take a sip. We lit. There's nothing to worry about. God is using us. God is using you. God is using me. Allow him to use you next year. Ain't no more woe is me. Ain't no more victim mindset. Ain't no more. We lit. We lit. It's easy. Life is easy. We lit. I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening to another episode of the Let's Try This Again podcast. I just had to get some things off my chest and let y'all know that what? Ha! I'm lit. I'm lit. Oh, wait. Wow. When you start thinking about, I'm telling you, when I get back in that B bag, that old b.simone from 2020, 2021, y'all better stop playing with me. There might be a little pride and ego in there. I'm gonna have to work on that. But when I get back to that with God though, with the more fixed heart posture, I'm telling you guys, like the way my mind and the way God has equipped me with everything I need in my mind, in my vision, and that's just my gift. I'm lit. So there's more to come. The journey is not over for me. It's not over for you. Keep going. I love you guys so much. And yeah, tell me, I want y'all to do this in the comments. Even if you don't believe it, you know it, but it's like you're not living it. You don't have enough faith. It's like you know it. Like, I know I'm good at this, but I don't believe it could work. I know I'm good at it. Write down your gifts. Put it in the comments. Put it. What makes you lit? What makes you lit? It could be your heart. It could be your personality. It could be your organization skills. It could be you have the fruit of the spirit. You're patient, kind, forgiving, all of these things. What makes you lit? Write it down. Put it in the chat right now. And we're going to speak this over our life going into 2025. Next year and the years on, we're lit. We're lit. It's just that simple. I love you guys. And I will see you guys next week on the Let's Try This Again podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please give us a review on all the apps, the Apple app, the iHeart app, the Spotify app. Leave a review. Leave a comment. Show love. Let it play. Listen to the audio and watch the YouTube because it does help. I love y'all. We lit. Cheers. See y'all next week. Bye. We lit. It's that simple. I'm lit. I don't know what they talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about. You ain't okay. You don't believe you lit? I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm about to say lit as hell. I'm lit. I'm that girl. Bye.